Hey guys, Level Cap here. Today I want to talk about Star Citizen, the crowdfunding juggernaut that has recently topped $170 million in crowdfunding. And speaking of which, if you're interested in helping crowdfund this game and you want to sign up for an account using this code, will give you some extra in-game credits and help me unlock some higher level ships. Now the reason Star Citizen has been in my mind recently is because the first prototype of the 3.0 build that allows for planetary landings has been released to certain higher level backers of the game. I was able to get into one of these release waves, and it's been pretty cool checking it out. Despite the numerous bugs and client crashes and laggy issues and desyncs and all the crazy stuff that comes along with testing an early release of a build of Star Citizen, it's still neat being able to check out many of the features that are functioning and working in the game. It gives you a slight insight into what Star Citizen, the final product, might be like. And it's also started a lot of discussions among me and my friends who are really excited for Star Citizen, but also have our reservations about certain aspects of this game, certain design choices that are being implemented. And many of these discussions revolve around the balance of how accessible the game is versus how hardcore and realistic this sim is. There's two sides to that discussion, people wanting the game to be as real as possible, not cutting any corners, requiring you to have to do all the laborious tasks that you would in any sort of realistic space sim game. And then the other side is people just wanting to get in and have fun and not being bogged down by all the intricate little details or nuanced things that you have to do in between running missions or PvPing or just having fun in the game. And on many occasions, Chris Roberts has stated that he wants this game to be accessible to the average gamer. It's not going to be some sort of exclusive hardcore simfest, but based on the design decisions being made right now, I have a hard time believing that it's actually going to be anything other than a very, very hardcore space sim. Now, my reason for thinking this is because I have a pretty long history in the game EVE Online. I've spent years playing it, trying out every single profession when it comes to mining, piracy, trading, manufacturing, even drug running. I've done just about everything that there was to do in EVE Online, and I played it quite extensively with multiple corporations and really played the heck out of that game until I finally decided I had enough. Now, what ultimately drove me away from EVE Online, which has many, many similarities to Star Citizen, is the fact that the game was very labor intensive. Regardless of what profession you chose or what you wanted to do that day, there was often a lot of busy work and logistical work before you could even get started, moving things around from one station to another, finding the right weapon that you needed for that day's task, setting up contracts, hauling material or ore to a big trading hub. There was always laborious tasks involved. And many, if not most of these tasks, I see Star Citizen sharing. Star Citizen is building up their universe in a very similar way to the way that EVE Online runs. Now, I would say they're not going quite as far as EVE because EVE is almost a 100% player-driven economy, which is an incredibly impressive thing that they've done. And I think Star Citizen ultimately wants to get there, but we'll see how close they actually get there. The problem with the player-run economy is that, again, to do many things in the game, it's going to require labor. The time requirement to run a player-driven economy only works if the more profitable or more difficult tasks require a lot more time, and making those tasks fun or non-labor-like is going to be difficult and a big challenge for any game. The big difference, though, that I see between EVE and Star Citizen right now is that Star Citizen takes a much more realistic, sim-like approach to their game world, and this means that you're going to have to do a lot of the manual processes in between each of these tasks. Where in EVE, the process of docking at a station is pretty much 100% automated, and once you get there, all cargo loading and trading and ship modification can all be done from one menu, and it can be done relatively quickly if you're experienced with the game. Star Citizen, when you dock at a station, there will be a semi-automated process for it. You'll still have to do a lot of things manually, getting out of your ship, powering it off, going into the station, going through the airlock, finding the right terminal you have to go to or the right person you need to talk to or the shop or whatever where you need to buy parts from. There's just going to be a lot more manual processes behind this game that are going to make things take even longer. Now, EVE was a slow-paced game, and the tasks and labor-like things that I had to do in it are what drove me away from it. So I think I'm a bit concerned that Star Citizen is going to have these tasks become even more labor intensive. Once the wow factor of landing on a planet or docking at a space station wears off, it's going to become a big time sink. Not to mention the travel time between systems, which looks like it could take quite a long time depending on how far you're going, and then landing on planets, which could easily take 5 to 10 minutes depending on how far away your landing site is from the point that you warped in. There's a lot of things in the game right now that take a huge amount of time, and I'm kind of wrestling with myself because I love the attention to detail in this game. Landing on a station, requesting a landing pad, watching your ship open up and turning off the controls to it and all this stuff, it looks amazing. It's really cool. I wonder how long that wow factor is going to last before I start getting bored with it, because at the moment I think that's really the only positive side to how long it takes to do many of these things, is that you're still kind of like blown away by the cool factor. Landing on a planet is still kind of cool for me, but it is starting to get a little bit older at this point. Going through the atmosphere or the sort of gravitational pull of a planet doesn't quite have the same effect on me as it used to. And when I see a landing point that's really far away, I'm thinking like, oh God, what is this going to take? 5-10 minutes to get there? I'm hoping these processes can be sped up down the road. In addition to that, I hope that they can maybe cut some corners that EVE Online never did. Logging on and being able to play with friends in a timely manner is probably one of the biggest concerns I have with this game right now, and I hope Star Citizen does a better job of it than EVE ever did. Sometimes when you logged on in EVE, you would find out that your friends were like 20 jumps away, and they were fighting pirates, or they're ambushing people and camping warp gates. And you thought, okay, well now I gotta go get my ship that's decked out for this, or maybe I need to modify it a little bit based on what my team needs, and then I gotta jump out there and get to them. It could take an hour plus just before you were linked up with your friends and having fun. I'm hoping that Star Citizen can put some shortcuts in the game here. They did mention about spawning on certain types of ships, which I think is a great idea, but imagine your friend is running in a Hammerhead, the cool new gunboat, Corvette style ship, and he's running some missions or he's fighting some other players and you want to log on and play with him. Wouldn't it be cool if you could just spawn in one of the sleeping bays of his ship and then hop out and jump on a gun and be in the action right away? Or maybe your friend is flying an Idris, or they have a Polaris, and a ship that has a smaller ship inside of them, and they need some assistance, or you want to just link up with them and spawn on their ship, and then you can take one of their smaller ships and fly it out of their launch bay and fly escort. That kind of thing would be awesome, and it doesn't seem like it would really break the game world too much in terms of logistics and transporting around the universe. I really hope these kind of mechanics exist in Star Citizen for that sort of instant action or linking up with friends as quickly as possible. At the moment, Star Citizen has a nice feature allowing you to spawn any of the ships that you own at any landing pad of adequate size. This is great when you get down to a different planet and you want to spawn a vehicle, or you just want to spawn a different ship to take off with. It's nice having this feature in the game right now, but will it exist when the final persistent universe becomes available? I hope it does, because transporting and moving all your ships across the galaxy will be a huge pain in the butt, and hopefully it won't be the same logistical nightmare that it was in EVE. Again, EVE, with the highly realistic trading and player economy, made you move all of your assets manually. So if you had 10, 20 ships and you wanted to change your home base across the galaxy, well, sorry, you have to move those ships now. Or you have to keep them where they are and fly really far away to go get a new ship that you might need for a specific mission. Curious to see how this mechanic unfolds in Star Citizen, and again, I'm always hoping that they opt for the less labor-intensive mechanics at the end of the day. I think EVE Online is an excellent test candidate for this game, determining how long it takes to get things done, how fun certain professions are, and how to improve upon them. I can already tell that Star Citizen is taking some cues from EVE Online, but trying to make them a bit more fun. Hopefully this same philosophy applies for just about every mechanic in the game, and I can't wait to see how these mechanics evolve with Star Citizen as the game world grows bigger and bigger in the persistent universe. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about the pacing and the realism factor of Star Citizen, and whether or not it's going to get in the way of the fun factor. I'll see you guys next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.